Well, hi, my name is Hector Hinojosa, and I am gonna interview Monica Vasquez.
Hi.
Well, do you feel that in Jalisco men and women are equal?
No, I don't think men and women are equal, not just in Jalisco, but anywhere in the world.
But why?
Well, I think gender is still a huge barrier in various legal aspects. I think there's a lot of inequality in different situations in which men and women get both involved. For example, for when there is a divorce between a couple, 90% of the times women will be keeping the kids, even if they are not a better candidate than the father. So in most cases, the father won't be able to get the custody of the kids. Also, like from another perspective, 7 out of 10 women in Guadalajara have been sexually harassed, and 9 out of 10 have been verbally harassed by men. So we see, while in contrast, only 2 out of 10 guys are sexually harassed here in Guadalajara. So I think we are not equal under some situations, and we still need to work on them.
Okay, thank you very much. Second question. Do you think violence is an important factor in the search of equality?
I think violence, yes, it is a very important factor in the search of equality, because we can never have a balanced society if we don't eradicate violence in general. Violence between women against women, or men against women, or men against men. I think violence is a huge factor that we are not able to work towards a more prosperous society. So violence will always be a barrier into growing into a more developed world.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, third question. Do you think that the promotion for women to work is a good implementation of the government?
Yes, I think working in general is very good. I think women, due to the society that we live in, are less encouraged to work, and that right now the government is making an effort to encourage them to form part of the work industry is very important, because that way women are motivated to study, to be prepared, to apply for jobs, and that is a good start.
Okay, thank you. Well, fourth question. If you could include or change something in the government of Jalisco, what will it be?
Well, I would change, or I would... I think probably the problem with the government is that people feel that they are not represented. So some groups of persons think that their opinions are not being heard. So what I would do is that I would probably have a more inclusive government. So maybe have a lot of diversity in between the government, like different ages, different genders, different beliefs, so that everyone feels represented and that their voice is being heard.
Okay, thank you. Well, the last question. Do you think that the new role of women as workers is because of the implementations of the government, or it's just because of women?
Well, I think it's a combination of factors. I think, yes, the government policies and the government implementations are a factor, an important factor, but I also think that women themselves have found within them the willingness to be part of the laboral force. And also I think there are other factors. For example, a lot of movement, social movements, and also maybe it depends on the family of the person. So I think there are a lot of factors, but I do think the government is an important one.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, my name is Hector Hinojosa, and I am the interviewer. I'm gonna interview my friend Ivana Carrillo. She's an ex-student from the Tecnológico de Monterrey. Thank you very much, Ivana. First question. Do you feel that in Jalisco, men and women are equal?
I think that there are the same amount of opportunities for both men and women. However, in the liberal side, usually women have less opportunities or less rewards than men. But most of the time in that region, there's a lot of equality.
Okay, thank you very much, Ivana. Second question, do you think violence is an important factor in the search of equality?
Yes, violence is definitely an important factor in the search of equality because when there's violence, usually there is a lack of equality, so one can determine the other. So it's definitely important to take violence into consideration to be able to determine the conditions of the equality.
Okay, thank you very much, Ivana. Third question, do you think that that the promotion for women to work is a good implementation of the government?
Yes, I think that promotion for women to work from the government is extremely important and it's effective because if the government doesn't start telling the women that they're capable of doing certain things, they might not take it into consideration. So it's definitely good for the government to be doing that and encourage women to work.
Okay, thank you very much, Ivana. Fourth question, if you could include or change something in the government of Jalisco, what will it be?
If I could change or include something into the way the government's doing things right now in the region, it would definitely be to implement anti-corruption awareness because corruption is what's bringing down society's conditions and way of thinking, and that's what's leading to certain things and problems such as equality or violence or stuff like that.
Okay, very good, Ivana. And last question, do you think that the new role of women as workers is because of the implementations of the government, or it is just because of the women?
Well, while I'm not aware of how much action the government has taken to encourage women to work, the little they've done, it's helping. So the more they try to implement, the more it's going to work. So I definitely think that women are getting involved in these processes because the government is encouraging them to do so.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Ivana.
Do you feel that in Jalisco men and women are equal?
No, because there's different wages and women are seen as supposed to be at home all the time taking care of the kids.
Is violence an important factor in the search of equality?
Yes, because here in Mexico there's a lot of violence against women especially, so there's that to fight as well as getting equal payment and other things.
Do you think that the promotion for women to work is a good implementation of the government?
Yes, I think so, but I haven't seen anything by the government trying to do that.
If you could include or change something in the government of Jalisco, what would it be?
A lot of things, starting to have a law where it says that men and women should be paid equal.
Do you think that the new role of women as workers is because of the implementation of the government or just because of the women?
Just because of the women, I don't think the government's doing actually something.